Hi, everyone. This is your Shira, Princess of Power story tape. Sit back and enjoy an exciting adventure with Shira and all her friends. Okay, here we go with The Jewel of Light.
Although all of my friends and adoras here in Etheria are nice, one of my closest, and adores as well, is Glimmer, the daughter of Queen Angela of Bright Moon. Even when things go wrong in her life, Glimmer manages to make the best of a bad situation and pass on her good cheer to everyone. And believe me, with Hordak and the evil horde nearby in the fright zone, Whispering Woods needs all the cheer it can get. Glimmer's power comes from a magnificent jewel in her staff. But that energy is not without limits. Glimmer uses her power to help all her friends. This is the story of what happened one day, when, to her surprise, Glimmer found that the Jewel of Light was running out of power. It all started when Glimmer and Adora were strolling through the woods. Glimmer knew me as Adora, and no one in Etheria knew that Adora and I were really the same person. While walking, Glimmer and Adora came upon the lovable and forgetful Madame Raz.
Oh, dearie ma, here I am trying to brew up a fresh batch of magic potion, and I do declare without my glasses I'm finding it dreadfully hard to read this old recipe. Let's see. 3 drops of oil of newt, 1 pinch of dried cobwebs. So far, so good. Now, for the last ingredient, 1 iota of, what's it say? Oh, liggity bats, I can't read it.
Glimmer and Adora had been watching Madame Raz struggle without her glasses when Glimmer said,
"Perhaps I can help you finish your magic potion, Madame Raz."
Oh, dearie my, I can use all the help I can get. But how would you do it, Glimmer?
By using my magic staff, I can create a magnifying glass out of light.
At that point, Adora reminded Glimmer, "The magnifying glass won't last forever, but it should be around long enough to help Madame Raz read her recipe."
Oh, dearie my, Glimmer, that would certainly be a help. And thank you too, Adora.
With a wave of her wand, Glimmer made a powerful magnifying glass appear in front of Madame Raz. Then she asked,
"Can you read it now?"
Why, yes, I can. 1 iota of petrified frog hairs, then shake well. Oh, dearie my, it's...
Glimmer and Adora chuckled as Madame Raz exclaimed,
Oh, dearie my, back to the drawing board.
A little farther on in the apple orchard, Glimmer and Adora came upon Sprag and Sprocket, 2 of the Twiggets who live in Whispering Woods.
Hold me steady, Sprag. Hold me steady.
Cried Sprocket as he stretched to reach the fruit that all the Twiggets loved.
I'm trying, Sprocket, but you've gained a little weight. Can't quite reach the honey apple. Whoa, I'm falling.
With a crash, Sprocket tumbled to the ground.
Now look what you've done.
Scolded Sprag.
Wasn't my fault. Wasn't.
Glimmer and Adora had been watching the 2 Twiggets stretching to reach the fruit high in the tree. Glimmer knew at once the solution to their problem.
Boys, stop that fussing. I can help you reach those honey apples.
And with a wave of her wand, she made a ladder of light appear. Then she stepped back and announced,
"This light ladder should be just what you need."
Wow, Glimmer, that's terrific.
exclaimed Sprag.
Yeah, now we can pick enough honey apples for everyone.
Added Sprocket.
"Glad I could help,"
said Glimmer. But Glimmer, are you sure you aren't using up too much of the jewel's power? Adora asked, as she looked at the jewel and wondered if it wasn't glowing a little less brightly than usual.
"Oh, Adora, the Jewel of Light is more powerful than that,"
replied Glimmer. Just before Adora and Glimmer parted company in the woods, Adora reminded Glimmer, "Better keep an eye on the Jewel of Light, Glimmer. It might need recharging soon." Meanwhile, in another part of Whispering Woods, Bo was out for a peaceful stroll when he was spotted by a platoon of horde troopers from the Fright Zone.
Why, look! It's that rebel leader called Bo!
Cried the trooper leader.
Hordak would be pleased if we captured him! After him, men! After him!
As soon as Bo spotted the troopers, he exclaimed,
Uh-oh. I'd better make a run for it.
Bo took off like a flash with the horde troopers right behind him. He was just a few hundred feet ahead of them when he reached the outside of the rebel camp. Glimmer was just returning to the camp when she spied Bo. She shouted to him,
Get inside the camp quickly! I'll use my staff to surround the camp with a wall of light. Stand clear, everyone!
In a flash of magic, Glimmer erected a 20-foot-high wall which kept the horde troopers out of the camp. The rebels were safe for now. After Glimmer had finished erecting the wall of light that rescued Bo and kept the horde troopers out of the camp, she noticed something strange happening to her staff.
Oh no! It looks like Adora was right. The jewel of light at the top of my staff does seem to have lost its glow.
Glimmer had used it to create a magnifying glass for Madame Raz, a light ladder for the Twiggets, and now the wall to help save the rebel camp.
My magic staff will need at least 3 hours of bright sunlight to charge it full of energy again. But down here beneath the trees, I'll never find enough sun to do that. The wall will last only a few hours, then disappear. And when it does, those evil horde troopers will be waiting to capture us.
Oh, dearie my, this is terrible, terrible,
cried Madame Raz as she and all the Twiggets huddled around Bo for protection. Glimmer tried to sound brave as she told them,
Don't worry, everyone. I'll think of something.
but Glimmer was secretly frightened as she whispered to herself,
This time we need a miracle. That's the only thing that can save us now. Oh, why didn't I listen to Adora's warning?
The sound of the horde troopers pounding on the wall of light surrounding the rebel camp echoed throughout Whispering Woods. The troopers were angry and impatient. They were not used to waiting for anything. Inside the camp, Glimmer feared that the troopers' wait would soon be over.
The magic wall of light won't last forever. And now that my staff has lost its power, I can do nothing to help my friends. I'm afraid we'll all be captured.
Spragg stepped forward bravely.
Don't worry, Glimmer. We'll fight those Horde troopers.
Sprocket followed.
We sure will. We may be small, but we're fast.
Glimmer knew that her friends were trying to cheer her up. She smiled at them, but kept her eyes fixed on the Horde troopers, just a few yards away on the other side of the magic wall. When Adora had left Glimmer after their morning walk, Adora rode to the other side of Whispering Woods on her horse Spirit. They stopped for a rest beside a shimmering waterfall, where everything was peaceful and quiet. Adora was much too far from home to hear the pounding of the Horde troopers, but Spirit seemed nervous, and he stomped the mossy ground with his white hooves. "What is it, Spirit? Why are you so nervous?" Adora asked. And the next moment, she felt a strange, cold chill pass through her. The woods around her seemed to tremble with concern, and she knew at once that something must be wrong. Spirit and Adora didn't waste another moment. It was time for Adora to use her magic powers and transform into me, She-Ra, for the honor of Grayskull. I am She-Ra! Spirit transformed into Swift Wind, and together we flew up through the tall trees and headed toward the rebel camp as fast as possible. I only hoped we were not too late. Back at the rebel camp, the wall of light had grown thinner. The light which gave the wall its thickness was starting to fade. Glimmer knew that soon the Horde troopers would be able to pass right through it.
There's not much time left. It's just a matter of minutes until the wall is gone and the Horde troopers capture us. If only I had listened to Adora and not used the power of my jewel so carelessly.
Outside the wall, the Horde troopers were growing angrier by the minute as their leader shouted,
"A curse on this wall, and on the rebels who hide behind it!"
By this time, Swift Wind and I were flying over the rebel camp. I could see what was happening, and I shouted, "Down, Swift Wind! We must help our friends before it's too late." Glimmer saw me first and exclaimed,
Look, everyone! It's She-Ra!
All the Twiggets shouted with joy, and I heard Spragg call out,
She'll show those Horde troopers who's in charge around here.
The moment Swift Wind and I landed, Glimmer rushed over to us and explained,
My jewel of light needs power. We must find some sunlight.
"Climb on Swift Wind's back behind me," I told Glimmer. "He will fly us up through the trees toward the bright sunlight overhead." As soon as the sunlight struck the jewel in the top of Glimmer's staff, it began to glow with power once again. Glimmer explained to me,
It will take 3 hours to bring the jewel back to its full power, but we don't have that long. I'll just charge it enough to give those Horde troopers a good scare. They may be strong, but they're not very brave. One good blast of lightning from the staff should send them running.
Glimmer knew what she was talking about. We waited till the last possible moment to be sure that the jewel had as much energy as time would allow. Then I shouted, "Down, Swift Wind! Take us down!" Swift Wind responded at once. Glimmer and I began our attack on the Horde troopers. We were a few hundred feet over the heads of the Horde troopers when Glimmer let loose a strong blast of lightning from her magic staff. It crackled through the air and exploded with a colossal flash and rumble.
"By Hardak! What was that?"
Cried a trooper.
"It's an explosion! Run for your lives! We're under attack!"
Shouted the leader. Like frightened children, the platoon of Horde troopers ran in all directions out of Whispering Woods and back into the fright zone. Glimmer laughed.
I knew that would scare them. Hordak's troopers are not as tough as they seem. Thank you for your help, She-Ra. You got here just in time. But I wonder where Adora is. She was with me all morning. She even warned me not to use up too much of the jewel's power.
I just smiled and said, "Adora is probably nearer than you think, Glimmer. Now I have to be going. I'm glad I could be of help. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye." All the rebels cheered as Swift Wind and I soared up through a clearing in the treetops and disappeared into the clouds.